what are the oldest beings in Middle-earth? Of course, Iru Illuvatar and the Ainur are excluded from this list, but we shall make a bit of an exception for a few Maiar spirits who took on mortal forms. The few like Sauron, the wizards and the balrogs, the ones that left Valinor to settle in Middle-earth. So which were the oldest amongst them all? At least the point being, who is the oldest up to the destruction of the One Ring? Let's start with the age of normal men, which is likely the same as nowadays, between 70 to 80 years on average. Hobbits age slower than men, and quite often than not live for more than 100 years, with Bilbo living till 131 years of age. The dwarves live for a far longer time, with many of them managing to avoid kicking the mithril bucket until 250 years of age. The Númenóreans, who have been blessed with long life, and especially the ones descended from the house of Elros the half-elf, could live to around 400 to 500 years. Aragorn, who is of that same lineage of the Dunedain, was still a man in his prime at the age of 87. Now this list will start to accelerate like crazy in age, and we will justify it with a bit of lore, of course. So let's get to it. At 15 we have Gollum. Smeagol was born on the year 2430 of the Third Age, and after a few decades of life, he discovered the One Ring, which corrupted him and also granted him extremely long life that far exceeds that of normal hobbits. When the ring was destroyed in the year 3019 of the Third Age, Gollum would have been around 581 years old. Number 14, the Wizards. This lot includes Saruman, Gandalf and Radagast. Yeah, I know they are Maiar spirits and technically would have been alive since the creation of the world, but in their mortal forms that stepped foot on Middle-earth, they would have been just a little bit over 2000 years, since their landing was noted by Kuran in the year 1000 of the Third Age. At 13 we have Legolas and Arwen. Tolkien did not provide a birth date for Legolas, but it was hinted that he is far older than he looks, and he refers to Aragorn and Gimli as "you children." The movie adaptation gave him 87 of the Third Age as his birth year, meaning that alongside Arwen Evenstar, the daughter of Lord Elrond, they would have both been between 2700 and 2900 years of age. Number 12, the Witch King of Angmar. His precise identity is unknown, but he could be one of the Lords of Numenor who was corrupted by the 9 Rings of Power and became a wraith of Sauron. Since the first sighting of the Nazgul in Middle-earth was reported in Second Age 2251, this means that by the time of the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, the Witch King would have been over 4200 years old. Number 11, Guer. Also known as Guer the Wind Lord, he is the Lord of the Great Eagles of Manwë during the Third Age, although his origins would have been way before even the Second Age. The Valar conceived the eagles at first to keep an eye on the exiled Noldor as they roamed Middle-earth during the First Age, and therefore Guer would be over 6000 years old. At number 10 we have Elrond. According to the history of Middle-earth, Elrond was born during the First Age in 532 of the Years of the Sun, so he was around 58 at the time of Morgoth's defeat. He was born in the havens of Sirion during the darkest days of the First Age, and thus with the combined years of the Second and the Third Ages, his total lifetime would stretch to 6518 years. At number 9 we have Thranduil. The king of the Woodland Realm, he was born during the First Age and lived in Doriath at some point prior to the Second Kinslaying in 506 of the Years of the Sun, thus making him just a little bit older than Elrond, but we don't know for sure if he was already mature during that time. But all in all, his age at the end of the War of the Ring would be close to 6600 years. At number 8 we have Shelob. Shelob was often stated as one of the direct spawns of the dreaded Ungoliant, a spider-like entity whose origins is unknown and was thought to be the manifestation of the Void. However, Ungoliant consumed himself at the end of the First Age, which means that Shelob would have been spawned before that happened, thus making her between 6000 and 7000 years. Number 7, Durans Bane. One of the balrogs of Morgoth, evil Maiar spirits that followed the Dark Valar and took the form of shadow and flame. After Morgoth's defeat at the end of the First Age, this balrog would lay dormant beneath the deep caverns beneath Moria for all the ages to come until he was awakened by the Fellowship of the Ring. As a balrog of Morgoth, he would be around 7000 years, in Middle-earth terms. At number 6 we have Sauron. Morgoth's second in command and in turn the next Dark Lord of Middle-earth, would also be of the same age in Middle-earth as the others, as they all followed their master at the same time. Sauron would take the fight to the Free People until his defeat at the Second Age, and also persist as a diminished form until the destruction of the ring in Mount Doom. At number 5 we have Galadriel. Born in Aman as one of the Noldor elves, she is described as the mightiest and the fairest of all the elves that remain in Middle-earth. She came to Middle-earth during the exile of the Noldor, following Fëanor to Beleriand. This all happened at the end of the Years of the Trees, which would place Galadriel around 500 years before Elrond in Middle-earth. At number 4 we have Círdan. Círdan, though not central in the Lord of the Rings movies, is a significant figure in Tolkien's works. He bore one of the 3 elven rings, and this ring he gave to Gandalf in the Third Age. Círdan is also known as the Shipwright, guiding ships between Middle-earth and Valinor. He is one of Middle-earth's oldest elves, never having left the shore since the awakening of the elves during the Years of the Trees. Thus he would have been in Middle-earth for around 10,000 to 11,000 years. At number 3 we have Treebeard. He is the oldest of the Ents and have been in the world ever since the awakening of the elves. He even remembered the time of elves teaching the trees to speak. So he would have been in existence for over 450 Valinor years before the sun, since 1150 of the Years of the Trees, which are counted in Valinor years and thus making them way longer, and plus 590 years of the sun and then the Second and Third Ages. Thus Treebeard would have been around for 11,300 years old at the end. At number 2 we have Tombomel. He is a mysterious being that lived for much of the world's history. In the Third Age he was known to live in the depths of the old forest near the Barrow Downs. The origins and nature of Tombomel is unknown, however, he claims to have already existed before the Dark Lord came to Arda, residing in the lands way before anyone else came unto them. Thus, he was there before the Years of the Lambs that began around 55,000 years before the War of the Ring. Some scholars of Tolkien's work even think that Tombomel is actually the worldly incarnation of Iru Illuvatar himself, and thus is immune to any harm that all the others are susceptible to. And number 1, the Nameless Things. Now these are the oldest of the creatures of Middle-earth, appearing before even the Maiar arrived in Arda or even the Valar. Some of these creatures are described as being slimier than fish and prefer to live in dark habitats. They are said to live in the deep places of the world and also worshipped by men in dark forests. Their true nature is unknown, but they are as old as Arda itself, or even older. They would also be over 55,000 years of age, if they still exist in the deeps. Now these are the 15 oldest beings and creatures of Middle-earth. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other monster related content. Some things that you might have not seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, fam.